So I just made a previous update for the Sagas of Icelanders, and I'm going to do another one because after my reading today, the ghost came back and it got quite interesting. The guy is named Hrapp, Hrapp, and it's more like, oh, Hrapp. So if you didn't see my previous live segment on the Sagas of the Icelanders, go back and watch the other one before you watch this one, because I'm going to continue on. So the land went vacant for quite a while, and then they finally resold it, thinking they could do something with it. So I'm going to read the excerpt here. They reached the cowshed, which stood open, and Olaf told the servant to go inside, saying, I'll herd the animals inside for you, and you tie them in their places. The servant went towards the door of the cowshed, but suddenly came running back into Olaf's arms. When Olaf asked what had frightened him so, the servant answered, Hrapp is standing there in the doorway, reaching out for me, and I've had my fill of wrestling with him. Olaf approached the door and prodded with his spear in Hrapp's direction. Hrapp gripped the spear just above the blade in both his hands and gave it a wrench, breaking the shaft. Olaf made a run at him, but Hrapp let himself sink back down to where he had come from. I'm assuming that's in the dirt. Putting an end to their struggle, Olaf stood there with the spear shaft in his hand, for Hrapp had taken the blade. So here you got a ghost taking the blade off the guy's spear. Olaf and the servant tied the cattle in their places, returned to the farm where Olaf said the servant would not be punished for complaining. The following morning, Olaf went out to where Hrapp had been buried and had him dug up. Hrapp's body was perfectly preserved, and Olaf found his spear blade there. So now you've got the transportation of the spearhead by the ghost. He then had a large bonfire prepared and had Hrapp's body burned and his ashes taken out to sea. No one else was harmed by Hrapp's haunting after that. So in my previous episode, my daughter had suggested perhaps the way he was buried vertical allowed a disease to go airborne, affecting the people living in the area and in the house. And apparently it's not the case, that this is an actual full-blown apparition with the ability to move solid objects. That is beyond poltergeist activity, I would say, right, Megan?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called. That's not even an apparition. That's like, I don't know what it is. What did you say? It was like borderline vampiric?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like some kind of a monster. So this is all supposed to be historical. It's from the Saga of the people of Laxardal in the Sagas of the Icelanders. Quite interesting. So Vikings had ghosts.